Parts unknown. I'm doing a multi-stream tonight. Supposed to be on Rumble and on Utizzle. And I've been setting up studios for the past, I don't know, hour at least. So I don't know if anything happened while I was up or not. But yeah, I'm doing a little expose on a person a lot of you know, Phil G. Now my plumber Intel sent me a TikTok video where he's putting out his quote intel, and I'm gonna give some commentary while I go through it. I'll stop it here and there, and it's got some parts in it where it has a circle going on. It's not your phone. It's not my transmission. That's just the way the video, when I transcribed it or taped it, that's what it kept doing. It's a goofy little tick, and then the rest of the word is talk video, and they always have a problem here and there. But anyway, I appreciate getting the video, and we'll talk about it some. Plus, I want to see if anybody checked out what country wasn't on that list, was not on the list. People must have named 50 countries just shooting up in the air, and I went and checked the list, and just about every one of them was on the list. So I'm not asking what's on the list, what's not on the list. So let me see who all's here. We got a lot of people coming in. Hang on a second. I got to sneeze. No, maybe I don't. Yeah, I do. But anyway, let me see who all's coming in. Whoa, well, let's see. Wait a second. Woo. Pollen season, I guess. Pollen season. I got a crazy cat running around too, man. I was wondering where she was today when I needed her. Hey, Lone Wolf, Tennessee. Rubber Toe. Mike Taylor News. How you doing? Man, my chats are jumping. White Lightning. Melinda, Stacy, Sherry, Diane, Wanda, Marla. How many Dianes we got? Nikki B, how you doing? Jamie, Georgia. Stacy, Debbie. Everybody's rolling in. Kim, hi, Tyne, how are you doing? Anyway, I got this meme that's on the screen from Mr. T, man. He was dumping stuff out and retruthing from a young lady. Maybe I got her picture in the some of the photos I'm going to put up. But I guess he came across her page and liked it because she retruthed a lot of her stuff. But I didn't see him post anything about this default avoidance deal. And that's very, very interesting. Very interesting. But anyway, folks, let's see how many people we got in here. It's hard to say. I don't know how many we got. 13 BLT. How you doing? If I missed anybody, David, how are you doing? If I missed anybody, I apologize. I'm going to get on with putting things on the screen here in a minute. But hopefully it's going on Rumble. But if it's not, it'll upload later. And I did my best. It's very aggravating, I tell you. But it'll be worth it in the long run, I'm sure. Now, I'm going to start off with this one. I got to fill the screen up, right? I got to fill up the screen. Mr. T forwarded this from Roger Stone. Chris Christie needs to run. Not for president. He just needs to run. So here you got Chris Christie. And I'd say that's good advice. He just needs to run. So now I'm going to get in trouble again making fun of people that are overweight. Like I did last time. I got in big trouble. Hi, Marla. Let's see, Reba, Marla. Where's my cups of coffee, Marla? I didn't see him. I want to thank Gary for coming through for me last night. I really appreciate it, man. Makes it worthwhile. It's tough when you're doing this stuff, and then something comes along. It's like, wow, well, I'm doing good. Hi, Christina. So now, Christina, I saw your comment in the on last night's video. I didn't say the Bible mentioned anything about the United States. I was talking about a preacher I talked to back in the 1970s who was a student of the Bible, so to speak, and of the apocalypse. And he was saying what he felt was going to happen to America from what he was reading about biblical territories, how they were described, Gog and Magog, and he felt that America would be pruned back. I didn't say that the United States was in the Bible. Marla put 4 coffees up. So anyway, just getting that straight, Christine. But I appreciate you listening, and I appreciate you commenting. When you comment on the videos after they've been posted, it helps them to get around. I got to get that picture off there. But anyway, we'll get to Phil in a second. We're just waiting for people to get into the conversation. Now, did anybody find out what country was not on the list of those 35, 36, 37, 38, 135, 136, blah, 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 up to 138, okay? What country wasn't on the list? And I don't know how many people, the way this is set up when I'm doing a multiple, when I'm going to more than one platform, I have no idea how many people have made it in yet. But I'll ask later on in the conversation. But, like I said, there's 220 some or 240 countries. We just can't think of names because I checked every one people were putting up. Well, most of them. I didn't get to check every one. And they're on the list. I'm talking about ones that are not on the list. I thought of one. So anyway, Phil Godlewski, he put out something. And I put it in the no Sherlock, okay, as to what a possibility could be. Marla said Sweden. Well, is it on the list or not, Marla? Did you check? They're in alphabetical order. Oh, okay. All right, Nikki, thank you. We're getting there. Now we'll just wait a little bit more for people to get in. And my friend Bernie at Truth and Art TV, he put this. I heard that my voice breaks up when I put the pictures up. I forgot about that, so I'll move the picture around, then talk. Magulus, how you doing? Maggie Lass, how you? Yeah, we got. Okay, I see how this is working now. It's showing me everybody that's on YouTube. Okay. So anyway, the Patriot Voice was retruthed by Truth and Art TV. You can't call it WOK-ness or mental illness. I say that only an actual demon could inhabit and do this to someone. Spiritual warfare on full display. So you see a before picture on the TikTok and an after picture. And you see perfectly on the left, a perfectly healthy, attractive young woman. Okay? And on the right, you see post-surgery. So, yeah. My concern is for the people that are not of the age of consent, okay? If you all want to spread this around, I'll shrink it up. We can get a screenshot of it. Yes, Chris Christie looks like two Teletubbies, all stuffed into one Omar the Tent Maker outfit. Hi, Gloria. How are you doing? So anyway, I could have went to Bumble or Telegram and got a video that doesn't have the spinning wheel every few seconds, but I'm going to stop and make comments because I didn't want to do that because I don't want to give them any more clicks. But as we know and as we discussed many times last night, we discussed, here, I'll put this one up for y'all. Here we go. This is one I did a long time ago. There we go. The Democratic Party. the master mechanic. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, we were talking about how they did this drone strikes in Moscow and in the wealthy areas where all the big shots have their houses, including Vladimir Putin. And one of the retaliations was they hit a decision-making center, which was an underground bunker. And one of the big shots with Ukrainian defense, I can't recall his name right now, but the reports were he was absolutely hysterical. I mean, he was panicked. He was shocked that they got that bunker. And I think it was something, probably Zelensky didn't even know the location of this bunker. And it was probably pretty damn deep. But there was probably a very high casualty rate of high value targets, judging by this person's behavior and hysteria. So part of this intel that Godlewski is going to go through, he's saying, well, I'll talk about it as we go through. We know things are jumping up and down over in Russia itself. We know things are jumping up and down all around Russia. Okay, we know stuff's jumping up and down in this country. Some articles I go over, and well, where's that one? Just for an example, what people are starting to put out there, and this is the type of stuff people need to see and hear. Mark Levin put this out, and Donald Trump retruthed it. 91% of Portland rioters, BLM and Antifa, not prosecuted. Okay? 91. Protesters are, quote, emboldened, coalition leader says, despite tough talk from Portland officials, including Mayor Ted Wheeler. So we know that things are very on a razor's edge, I'll say, in this country. When you have this historic business of trying to put a former president in jail, actually going through an indictment process, raiding his home. So we know there's a lot going on and things are getting close. So people are cashing in on that, cashing in. So anyway, let me play some of this. Let me find where I put his little bibble babble video. I might have to go out of the studio to get that. Oh, here it is. All right, it starts off with him right side up, and then it flips over for some reason. So I'm going to flip it. Wait a second. There we go. Yeah, it tick, and then the other word is talk videos go. But anyway, I'll interrupt it here and there. You guys enjoy this, but take it for what it's worth. You see a picture of Mr. T in the background. Now, this guy Schmiel he's got a lot of older people watching him, and he's gets them to join this gold club, and they send money in for this gold club. I don't know if you call it a gold club or it's kind of like Amway, maybe, I don't know, but it's some kind of system you get into to from what I understand, buy physical gold. But anyway, here's some of his intel. But remember, we are the news. We already know KNEWS. We're the news. But here's how he gets people fired up. So hold on, let me cut my mic off, and I'll interject here and there.
As we approach the month of June, you will undoubtedly see an a very high presence of military vehicles in the form of Humvees, possibly tanks, depending on what area you're in, helicopters, very possible that you see fighter jets, very possible that you see large cargo planes that you would not normally see in your area. This activity is going to take place across the United States, Canada, parts of Mexico, across most of Europe. Europe, of course, will not be United States military, but will be, I don't know what to refer to that as, but it won't be UN, won't be NATO, won't be any of that stuff. The increased military presence that you see is for exactly what you think it's for. It's not for us. It's not for citizens. It's not for anything that would be some sort of nefarious situation that we might find ourselves in, and it's certainly not black hat controlled. The military jurisdiction of the World Alliance that is currently and has been fighting the cabal for a very long time now. A couple years, several years. If you are in the United States, in the mainland United States, the military that you're going to see is under the command of this gentleman right here. Flat Earth that are in command of the military that is going to take place and stationed in various parts across our flat realm. I can't speak too much for the other areas of the world other than Canada, the United States, and parts of Mexico. I don't know what's going to happen down in South America. I don't know what's going to happen, in areas like that. I do know Europe is going to be blanketed, similar to how the United States are. And I also know that there's going to be an enormous amount of military presence in Russia, as well as the surrounding countries. This presence is not going to be for battle.
Now I'm stopping him right there because I'll cut him on and keep going here in a second. But you see, this is what are you learning? What are you getting from this? How many times have you gone somewhere and you've seen some guys in uniform? How many times have you been riding up the road and you've seen some Humvees and or a trailer with some military equipment on it? I've seen that plenty of times, in peacetime. But that's not to say it's not going to happen. But you get a lot of people all pumped up. Now, there could be such a deployment with everything that's going on. With number one, the Chinese are not even returning our phone calls. The Chinese have threatened one of our aircraft over the South China Sea. We talked about that last night. They are rattling their sabers in Taiwan. They are taking over the businesses and industries in Brazil. We talked about that last night. So, there may be something where with all the people that have come across the border, we don't know who they are, where they're from. Mr. T already told us that they come from just about every country on this planet, not just South America. There could be some kind of alert for that. We know something's going to happen. We already know that. Mr. T is confident. We know he's confident. That we know they're going after him hammer and tong, tooth and nail, and he's keeping his composure. We know things are coming to a head. But large amounts of military, especially in Russia and the surrounding areas, boy, you've been living under a rock, Phil. There's been a war going on over there. It's affected every neighboring country. So, but people feed into this. Now, I wouldn't be surprised. Of course, they're going to do things in such a way as it minimizes people being distraught or to minimize the possibility of civil unrest. People could be put out. There could be deployments made for a number of reasons. Biden could do it and blame Russia, okay? Or they could blame unknown people that have crossed the border. A lot of different things. But is it really Biden that does it? So anyway, we'll just listen to him go on. But he's going to make his points. I think he's talking in circles, but he's got a way of making it sound very exciting and very intriguing, especially when we know that the New York Times reported about a courthouse, one of the courthouses being finished this June, and supposedly there are going to be trials held, but the caveat is they are not going to be open to the public. Okay, and that was reported by the New York Times and Catherine Herridge. But anyway, let this guy continue.
This presence is simply going to be for stationary purposes. There will be many leading into the latter part of June. Let me go back. In the early part of June, you're just going to see the presence tick up. You're going to look up in the sky and you're going to see some aircraft that you're not used to seeing, that you're wondering, what the hell is that doing there? You're going to see some military envoys going down your side street. Why are they on your side street? Well, who's on your side street? Do you actually know all the people that live on your side street? You probably don't. You're going to see, while you're going down your main road, stationed at a light, a big but a couple of troops hanging outside of it with some, ARs. They are not meant for you. Please don't get scared. They are there conducting a mission, and most of them don't know why they're there. Commanders know why they're there. People that put them there know why they're there. But they are there. They are told to be stationed, and they are told to be ready for further instructions. If you know someone in the military in your family or a friend or something, ask them about this. Ask them if they have orders to be stationed somewhere within the United States, Canada, or parts of Mexico in the next coming weeks. That will verify, for you anyway, the intel that I'm giving you tonight. That's not the end of it. I have more intel that coincides with this intel, so stay tuned. Towards the latter part of June, and that's the beginning of June, what I just said. Towards the latter part of June, what you're going to see is the military presence in those same areas that I just said lessen in terms of quantity, but the quality is going to be accelerated. It's going to be like you're seeing military that you've never seen before. You know they're military because it looks like military, but it's an advanced form of military that you would recognize as military, be used to seeing them. I'm trying to say this without giving it away. You wouldn't be used to seeing them like that. It's a very basic way to say it, but it's the best way I could do it without giving away too many details. So the presence will be downgraded.
Okay, so the number of you'll see this you'll be the only ones now because you subscribe to this guy, I guess, that since you've been tipped off, you'll see this increased presence and at some point the quantity will go down, but the quality will accelerate. It'll be a different kind of military, but not as obvious. So anyway, you see how people are going to, a small group of people are really going to be acting rather cuckoo, is what I feel could be a problem. I was looking for that one video he played last year. I played it where he just came on the air and I heard it was because he was late for a live stream. So he put up this live stream saying, everybody pull off the roads right now. Anywhere where you're at, just pull off the road and stay off the road till midnight. We're trying to stop the cabal from their evil plans. It's very important. Everybody get off the roads right now. And I got on the microphone there critiquing that, saying, what are we supposed to do? Go walk in the woods and sit on a stump for 3 hours or go sit in a McDonald's? That makes us safe? But this is the kind of stuff he pulls. So anyway, I'll let him keep going. I just had to interject that.
But the seriousness will be upgraded. Again, that's towards the end of June, middle to end of June. You have no need to be worried about that. It is not only unlikely, but more likely impossible that any of these military stations throughout these areas are going to cause any sort of firefight or any sort of disruption to your activity, your daily activity, your regular route. Very unlikely, if not mostly impossible. They are there for a specific reason, and the reason is not battle. Another thing I could tell you about this presence is keep your eyes on the major airports in the United States. Just thinking of some off the top of my head. LAX, Miami International, Newark, New Jersey. Boy, I hate that.
So now he's mentioning airports. He's going to mention every big airport he can dream of. Yes, it's buffering. There wasn't much I could do about it. It's the copy of the video itself doing that. But anyway, you get his point while he's talking. But anyway, now he's gonna very intelligently inform us what are the biggest airports in the country. Okay, I'll let him keep talking.
Oh, worst airport in America. Charlotte, Atlanta, those are the biggest ones I could think of. Oh, O'Hare, Chicago. At those airports, what you're going to see is a military presence that, for those of you that are at airports more often than the regular person would be, you're going to see a military presence at those airports as well. Not a military presence in terms of, checking everybody onto the plane like a gate agent would do, or a TSA agent. They're not going to be taking the place of TSA. They're not going to be taking the place of any of the airline crew or the gate crew or any of that. But you will see an increased presence of them there. I would caution you to leave them alone if you feel the urge to ask them.
Yes, leave them alone. I'm cautioning you. When you see these military, and they're going to be downgraded to some superior force that's a much higher quality group, don't go up and ask them to get in a card game or anything. I mean, what does he think people are going to do? But anyway, he's about to finish up.
And the question about why they're there, one of two things is going to happen. Number one, they're going to lie. Number two, they're going to say they can't tell you. In almost almost every single situation, they don't know why they're there. They're not told why they're going there. But they have orders, and that is what they are doing. They're following through with their orders. Let me just check my audio real quick because I've been having it.
So, number one,
as we approach the month of June, you will undoubtedly see and
it just started playing over again. But number one, don't approach them. Don't approach them and don't ask them what they're doing, because number one, they're going to lie to you, right? They're going to lie to you. And then he babbles on a little bit more. And then he says, nearly every one of them won't know why they're there. How are they going to lie to people if they don't even know they're there? So the thing about it, I'm looking in the comments, and a lot of people, I think Stacy was saying it feels sorry for the people that follow. And Camperman, how you doing, Camperman? Donna, how you doing, Donna? Kickenberg. But there are thousands of people that watch this guy multiple times a week. And I don't know how many of you all were with me. One time I put a video up that he did where he was talking about the Supreme Court justices being put on special military custody in different locations around the world. Something was getting ready to pop off. There was going to be a decision made where the Supreme Court was going to overturn the shun. And, this is a broken record. But see, the old saying is, even a broken clock can be right twice a day. When we know something is going on, we know this is historical, we know that the end game is they're going to have to do something so outrageous that it will not be permitted. And there's going to have to be some action taken by the existing civilian government, or there's going to have to be protections put in place. We know that's going to happen. We know I know. I don't know how many people out there in the chat, but I know in my heart that 2016 happened only one way it happened. 2016, the results is that the regular system, and you know what I mean by system, got short-circuited, okay, by the good people. I'll put it that way, because the word white and the other part is hats, that gets flagged too, okay? So the good people, that's how I know that we're going down the right path. And Trump himself said 8 years and out, if he'd have done 2 terms back to back, he said 8 years and out would not have worked. We had to do it this way. He said that. And he said in the past that it would take 12 years to clean up this mess. So, no, if we didn't have people on our side, if we didn't have some kind of intervention by our defense services, I'll put it that way, he would have never won. He would have never won. And if January 20th of 2020 had not happened, if Biden had not gotten in, we would not have flushed out all the trash that we're seeing flushed out right now and being laid out before the American people. But anyway, yes, there are thousands of people that watch this guy. He spent almost 14 minutes, I guess if you take out the buffering, maybe 12 minutes putting this business out of something happening in June military. Now, I know that, what's his name? Derek Johnson. put out a video that he was going to be covering military tribunals at the spa and this month. So now he's not doing sensationalist stuff. And the only thing I'll say good about this broadcast here that he did was that it was not like the one where he's panicking people, telling people to get off the roads, getting people all upset. But he is going to have a small number of the population walking around like secret squirrels and looking at everybody with a side eye. And I don't know if you caught it or not, but he did mention 2 times flat Earth. Okay? But I have said in the past, I don't get into those discussions because I don't care if the Earth is shaped like a Rubik's Cube. If we don't straighten this problem out, none of us are going to be on here to enjoy it. So anyway, he does get a lot of money, and he does have a lot of people follow him and send him money. And he's got this gold thing. I'll let him describe it to you. Here, he'll describe it, what it's like. This group that people can join. If anybody wants to invest, this is what it's like.
Anyway, and the next thing you know, this downline that you're building is growing at a pace that you have nothing even to do with anymore.
It's like an STD.
Phil, totally uncalled for.
It is. One person has an STD. They have sex with somebody else. They give it to them. That person gives it to 2 people. 2 people become 4. 4 become 8. Anyway.
And the next thing you know, this.
So, yes, you can sign up for this thing. It's kind of like a STD. One person gets it, the other person gets it, and that's the way it goes. And anyway, it's got something to do with gold. So, yeah, Honey says it's open source info. It's planned military exercise, biggest in years. The UK government announced it. Yeah. What was the one they did about Jade? What was it called? Jade Helm? What was the name of that exercise they did about 8 years ago? Jade Helm, I think it was, or something close to that. Yeah, Kim, it sounds like a pyramid thing. Could be, or something like Amway, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, that's the kind of talk that, like Honey said, they're planning military stuff all the time. Jade Helm, they had that about 8 years ago, and it was a lot of military movement. And nothing earth-shattering came out of it. Now, I didn't see any countries that were not on the Rothschild list. I'll say the name one time, and hopefully that won't get me in trouble. But anyway, I don't know what I should say. I was going to bring up another thing for you all to consider on the boards. But anyway, I was talking last night that they are trying to undermine the Supreme Court because they know stuff is going to be coming in to the Supreme Court. And I said there was a senator who was making noises again about Clarence Thomas in the past, but this time I just took the title of the article. I didn't want to go through it all. Congress has the power to reform Supreme Court, Senator Whitehouse says. But pushing ethics reforms through Congress is not going to be easy. Ethics reforms. This is the man right here in terms of administering how the internal ethics of the judicial branch are done. Heck, the Judicial Conference, which does that, is a creation of Congress, Sheldon Whitehouse says. So he's going to be trying to get his fingers in to the Supreme Court, and before these big cases come up, and the way people are reporting this business, Like take for instance Chris Ray. Chris Ray, Google put an alert up for me to see this article. CNN. This was today. Now I know that there's unequivocal statements been put out that contempt of Congress charges are going to be filed or issued, or he's going to have to answer, and it carries potential jail time. Now, but CNN, I get an alert from Google to see this article. This is what average people see. FBI director scheduled to speak with congressional Republicans about a Biden document dispute. No, it's much worse than that. It's much worse than that. They're going to be calling him on the carpet. And we don't know if he's a gray hat or what, but he is a marker. Now, as far as Godlewski is concerned, instead of putting out that kind of stuff when to get people all, information dissemination operation. Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a comment. Let me see if I can find it. That Kevin McCarthy, I know all the hubbub, with the budget thing, but I am following DJT's lead. I am not giving an opinion on it because the devil is always in the details, okay? And I don't know the details. So anyway, but on top of that, Marjorie Taylor Greene put out a statement that McCarthy is giving the J6 tapes, all of the tapes, to other people besides Tucker. And apparently there's some kind of, I don't know what's going on there, because Carlson has, and I'll say Carlson instead of the first name to keep myself out of trouble. Carlson has a contract. There's $26 million riding on that contract. Plus, I'm sure there are penalties that can be heaped on top of losing the $26,000. You may perhaps be assessed more money. I don't know. But that turned out to be a flash in the pan. We were expecting this, expecting that, expecting this with the J6 tapes and with Tucker being cut loose, that we would be seeing a torrent of information, but we have not. But Marjorie Taylor Greene said that there are going to be other people getting their hands on those tapes. Now, people like Mr. Godlewski, I think spending time on talking about that with people is much more beneficial than going about getting everybody's mental temperature up. And for new people that are new, I'm going to play this little clip here. And this is the type of stuff I feel that intel people should be playing. And I said I never liked that term intel. It's information dissemination operation. So if a young lady can put this together on TikTok a year ago, okay? She put this together a year ago. This is one of the star witnesses at the J6 committee. Now, this is before any tapes got released to the public, before Tucker got into it, before anything. If a TikTok person could put this together about this star witness victim that testified, can you imagine what else can come out? Hold on, let me play for the new people.
Capitol and the people inside it. I was grabbed, beaten, tased, all while being called a traitor to my country.
Yeah, that guy. Well, that guy was actually not in uniform, and he was not there as a Capitol police officer. He was there as an FBI plant. The dude was there, carrying a Confederate flag. You can't make this shit up. It's him, and he thought he was going to get away with it.
So that's the kind of stuff that needs to get around and get about. So anyway, now let me see what's going on in the chats. Did anybody put a country up? Thank you, Steve. Said Mountain Man is on the spot. Appreciate it. Crazy Cajun lady, how you doing? Let's see. Let me get this picture out. When it's darker, I can read the chat show up on the left side of my screen, so it's easier to read the letters with a dark background. A lying liar from Liarsville. So yeah, I mean anybody can make a prediction like that we're going to be seeing military and. Don't come up to him. Don't say nothing to him. All that kind of stuff. And it's so sad, when people are shut in, they don't get out much. They only get their information from one person. And then if they ever do talk to their friends and family, they're talking like crazy people. And I said a long time ago, I would love it if one of our military, 2, 3, a squad of them came by my house and said, could you stay inside, please? We're conducting an operation. I would say, sir, yes, sir. And I'd go inside and I'd crack a beer or drink a coffee. That's what I'm going to have a sip of my coffee right now. But I would be so relieved because we got to trust somebody. And as I said, if we didn't have good people stepping up, Trump would have never got in 2016. Don't ever forget that. So anyway, before I get into scary John Kerry, he put out a goofball thing, and I thought, oh my, he looks like he's a member of the Black Eye Club. Remember that, folks? The Black Eye Club? But let me see what you all think. Let me put a picture of him up here, and I'll play his video in a second. Look at that. Remember the Black Eye Club? And we had the Boot Club. But he's starting to look pretty rough. And as I said before, stress and spiritual distress, or as we talked about earlier, a demonic possession, really, when you get down to this point here. Destroys you physically. And I know he's up in his age, but I don't know if he's a member of the Black Eye Club or not, or what that means, but we've seen our share of black eye, people running around with black eyes. So I'll play his video in a second. But I will tell you, for future broadcasts, let me check the chats to see if anybody came up with a... Honey said Panama, Andorra. Let me see. Monaco. Did you check? Because Monaco is the one I picked, honey. Yeah. Monaco is not on the list. And I'm not sure about Panama and Andorra, but very good. Thank you, honey. So, yeah, we got it answered. At least she got more than I did. But Monaco, think about that. That's a principality. And Prince Rainier, his wife was who? Who was his wife? And what happened to his wife? I thought that was just interesting. I'm not saying there's anything to it, but they are not on the list. But you know that there is the largest concentration of wealth than probably the rest, 90% of the world. excluding Saudi Arabia, but Monaco is packed with very wealthy people. And yes, Grace Kelly. I see a couple of people got that. Grace Kelly, and she died in a car wreck. Am I right about that, folks? She died in a car wreck. Very young, really, as far as, I mean, she was, I believe in her 50s. And that, she was still a very attractive woman. And that was a rather mysterious wreck also. But that popped in my head when I was saying, gee, what country's not on that list? And I thought of Monaco. And then after that, I thought about Grace Kelly. I don't think there's anything to it. But anyway, all right. I gotta be touchy with this subject. I'm gonna put this picture up real quick. This is touchy, folks, and I'm on both platforms. Okay. And no, I better not put this one. I'll save this one for later. I'll put the picture up. Okay. And if you spell any names, use numbers for vowels. If you get any names or words that are tricky, touchy, okay? But we'll talk about this situation here in the future, okay? I got to figure out how I can see people's comments on Bumble, because I can't. Yeah, she went over a cliff, camperman. Okay, Georgia, was I coming through on Rumble all right? I hope. So anyway, we'll talk about this situation, this creepy situation here, okay? When I can get, I'll have to, that's right, Nikki. Grace Kelly was only in her 50s when she died. And Prince Rainier, he wouldn't like Charles. I mean, he was heartbroken. He was devastated. And he never really recovered. I don't think he ever recovered. Yeah, Kim, you got to put 4s for A's when you use names that I just finished saying that. Let me show an example of what to do when you're talking about names that are going to, because they protect themselves, folks. They protect themselves. They don't like being talked about. The Ross, and then the other half is child. That's why I break it up, because they don't want to be talked about. And I noticed in the chats earlier, it probably got taken out. But this word, this is the way you got to do it, folks. R2D2 and P3DO. We all know what that means, but it doesn't get picked up by the machine. Use a 3 for an E. Okay. Herman, oh my gosh, I'm already at an hour. I'll keep going. I promised Red I was going to play is Red in there? Anyway. Jersey Joe did it backwards. Ha ha ha. Anyway, folks, this is a viewer-supported and creator-supported channel only. I don't get anything from anywhere else. I've got a buy me a coffee link for anybody that wants to help out with the channel. I'm supposed to do it halfway through the broadcast. I keep forgetting because I get going. But I got a buy me a coffee link in the description. And I appreciate Gary for helping me out, and Lone Wolf's helped me out. A lot of people in chats I've seen have helped me out. I appreciate it very much. And anyway, let me get back to Herman Munster. Here, I'll put my there we go. Hearts coming out of the coffee cup. Yay. So anyway, and I won't play Nessun Dorma for a while because a lot of people dropped off. That makes me mad. But anyway, let me get going with Herman Munster. Where'd he go? I thought I had Herman on the screen. Lily, I'm home. But anyway, now this tells the name of the group that puts this kind of stuff out. But we've talked in the past. Oil is organic. It is an organic substance. It's made by plant life, animal life. It's part of this earth. It is the second most abundant liquid on earth next to water. Okay? But anyway, I'll discuss some of his, quote, points from this boogeyman. These are the people that are running our lives, banning our gas stoves, trying to herd us into driving little Barbie electric cars, okay, where we can't go anywhere, 15-minute cities. He's talking about leaving a zero carbon footprint. Like an old friend of mine said one time, a million years ago, dinosaurs were pooping all over the earth. Nobody said nothing about it then. But anyway, let him talk his gibberish.
Agriculture contributes about 33% of all the emissions of the world, depending a little bit on how you count it, but it's anywhere from 26 to 33. And we can't get to net zero. We don't get this job done unless agriculture is front and center as part of the solution. But with a growing population on the planet, we just crossed the threshold of 8 billion fellow citizens around the world. We just crossed that in this last year. Emissions from the food system alone are projected to cause another 0.5 degree of warming by mid-century on the current course that we are today. A 2-degree future could result in an additional 600 million people not getting enough to eat. And you just can't continue to both warm the planet while also expecting to feed it. It doesn't work.
So I'm stopping him right there. He's saying they have to control agriculture and that we have to get to a net zero of carbon output. This person is insane. And the scientists that they're paying off to put this stuff out to people are criminal in my mind. Because what does the earth do by itself? The earth itself is agriculture. Okay, it puts out fruit. I mean, what do you think? What does he think elephants eat? What do you think elephants do? That they go to a Johnny house, you know, and somebody comes by and gets the Johnny house contents and puts it in a rocket ship and sends it off into outer space? You know, this is insanity. Okay, plants need carbon to survive. They emit oxygen. You learn that in the 6th grade. Okay, so this moron is saying, like they've been saying for decades, that the earth is going to warm at 0.5 degree. But like DJT said, it's actually getting cooler. But that's their justification for doing budgets that bankrupt countries. Okay, they're the ones that are starving people with poverty and withholding natural resources from people. But anyway, let me let him continue to babble.
So we have to reduce emissions from the food system to keep the 1.5 degrees alive. Why do we have to keep 1.5 degrees alive? Because scientists, as a basis of physics and mathematics, not ideology and politics or party labels or anything else, as a matter of physics and mathematics and some biology and chemistry have told us these are the consequences. And we already see it happening. And almost everything they've predicted for 30 plus years now is coming true. But the problem is it's coming true faster and bigger than was in fact predicted.
So that's the name of the group, which, as far as I'm concerned, they're putting out a bunch of climate propaganda. And I said in the past that 2 things need to be criminalized. Okay, that one is the climate narrative. Okay, the false narrative. It's defrauding not only people but nations. It is fraudulent. Okay, and the other one is the TRAN. Okay, that's got to stop. So that's for starters, folks. For starters. But I tell you, I wanted to get into the plans for what they're going to do when Joe's got to go. We'll have to save that for another broadcast. I got some other things I want to talk about, though. Let's see. Tucker. Carlson. I was talking about Carlson. It came out today. And this is the lady that DJT was retruthing at Laura45. Lara45. Must see. Newly uncovered text messages show Carlson trying to stop Fox News decision desk from calling Arizona for Biden too early on election night. Okay, that's coming out. Now, if you all remember it, I remember when it happened live, my jaw hit the floor. It was Brett Baer called Arizona. And now we're finding out that Tucker was texting and trying to get them to stop. Anyway, so this is for Mr. Kerry. I put this one up last year. Unprecedented climate change has caused sea level at Sydney Harbor to rise approximately 0.0 centimeters over the past 140 years. Yeah, this wasn't a video I did over a year ago. Georgia said that was the last time she watched TV when Tucker Carlson did that. Anyway, let me see. Yeah, we're gonna get this situation. The old Democratic Party has been taken over. They're migrating to independent, and that's why I'm thinking that the Republican Party is working at putting out other individuals besides Trump. But I'm going to put this up real quick I think this is about Kayleigh McEnany. Let me see. I talked last night how Trump came out of the gate and he kind of put the smackdown on Kayleigh, and everybody's like, oh, Kayleigh's so nice. And she is nice. But it's like I said last night. This is the time and the hour. This is the moment. We cannot have wishy-washiness. We cannot have milquetoast, okay? Mediocrity. We got to be rock-ribbed. That's an old term, rock-ribbed Republicans. Kayleigh McEnany, Chick-fil-A was founded by Truett Cathy. He was a devout Southern Baptist. They close every Sunday and honor the Sabbath until they start selling tuck swimsuits. I'm not going to boycott Chick-fil-A. Well, I am, okay? I am, because I saw the videos where the CEO was telling people to wash shine other people's shoes for BLM. I read where the CEO is talking about doing that EIC or whatever they call it. Let's see here. This is what they call it. Let me see. Diversity, equity, inclusion. Okay. So I can boycott Chick-fil-A, Kayleigh. We're not going to be halfway. We're not going to be milquetoast about it. I'd go to somebody put in the chats last night that Wendy's has a great chicken sandwich. Okay, and I'll start raising chickens if I got to. But anyway, If you're wondering why, Citizen Free Press put this out. If you're wondering why certain employees at Fox News are telling viewers to chill on the boycotts, it's because Fox News is about to embrace all the same DEI policies as Target and Bud Light. So I don't know why that won't shrink. Anyway, there they are. Chick-fil-A criticized over DEI comments. So, yeah, I'm going to be rock-ribbed about it myself. I'm going to stand my ground. And, hey, you go woke, you will go broke. As far as getting any of my damn money, that's the way it's going to be. I'm sorry I said DAMN. But hey, that's the way I feel about it, folks. It's time to quit fooling around. Time to quit fooling around. Here's a meme, Mr. T. Re-Truth. Democrats are terrified of President Donald Trump. They know with his re-election, their corrupt gravy train crashes and burns. Okay? Now, this will probably get me in trouble because they will say it is a campaign advertisement. So you'll probably see this video get me in trouble in, I don't know, maybe a month from now. But the premise is correct without the endorsement at the bottom. Their gravy train crashes and burns. That's what it's all about, folks, their gravy train. Wait a minute, I got a notification. Let me see. What's going on here? Oh, Love to Garden. Haha. Love to Garden helped me out in to buy me coffee. I appreciate it, Love to Garden. Welcome to the coffee crowd. You're a newbie. Newbie at the coffee crowd. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I got a link in the description, folks. If anybody wants to help me out. And the link works after the live stream, too. But anyway, let me see. Some things I was going to get into and I'll do on future broadcasts. I had this subject in my studio for a long time. But and I said, nah, I'm not going to talk about that. But I will in the future broadcasts. And I'll tell you why. Honey made a comment about it. About the Saudis. The Saudis and the Russians were discussing Western culture. They said, we don't want any parts of that stuff because pretty soon they'll be marrying animals. And there's probably somebody grunting with the possibility, grunting with the delight or something like that was in their statement. And that was yesterday I discussed that. But anyway, this video you see on the screen, if you want to make yourself sick, you can watch it. But there is and has been for years on the internet people that get involved in that. Okay? And I'll put it as part of one of my stories. All right? Without puking you out too much. You get puked out as much as you want to get puked out. I don't want to puke you out. But anyway, the toxic world of Twitter. Animals can consent. And I believe this video was posted before Elon bought Twitter, but they have migrated to Mastodon and maybe Reddit. I'm not sure. But it also involves younger people than they should be discussing such things with, okay? So by the time it's all over with, as noble as the Democrat Party used to be with JFK, Hubert Humphrey, I've been down the line with stuff like that, as noble as they used to be, this insurgency of lunacy is causing people to start looking at being an independent. A classical liberal is not going to put up with this kind of stuff. And that was evident when Reagan took 49 out of 50 states, including New York and California. Okay? All the northern states, every state but Minnesota. Okay? His opponent's home state, and he only lost it by 4,000 or so votes. But anyway, that was because they called them Reagan Democrats. But they are people that do not want to get involved in this lunacy. And I think they're going to either form another party or stay independent. And this is a good meme here that shows being a Democrat is going to be kind of like showing up at a party with a Bud Light. Okay? They've taken a happy warrior, noble party and ruined it. So this is the evolution of the left, not Democrats and classical liberals. The whacked out left. So, like I say, well, I tell you, I love to Garden. I see you say you don't watch Fox News. Well, the thing is, too, this strategy is the way I look at it. It's going to get people who would never have watched Fox News to check it out because they're not going to seem like a cheerleader for Trump. That's what kept people away from Fox News. What this is doing, when you have Trump making comments against Fox News and Kayleigh McEnany, you're going to get people that don't like Trump, but don't like the way the country's going to watch Fox News. And, you know, a lot of their reporting is far from perfect, but it is far from MSNBC and far from CNN. It is quite a bit different. So I think it is an attempt to get the word out, right? So anyway, folks, let me see what's going on here. Oh, and here's a blast from the past that shows you why they're so, one of the many reasons why they're so desperate. This Jack Smith, who we don't know his real name, we don't know Jack. Donald Trump put this out last year, or I don't know, 4 months ago, maybe 3 months. Trump's special counsel Jack Smith was involved in Lois Lerner IRS scandal. Okay, there were crimes committed during that scandal, I will venture to say. Newly appointed special counsel Jack Smith was instrumental in the Justice Department's Public Integrity Unit inserting itself into the Lois Lerner IRS scandal, targeting conservative nonprofit groups. Hi, Lori. Henri, how are you? So, anyway, I was going to get into in future broadcasts. Now, I'm going to put this meme up. Since I was talking about the Democrat Party. Old left versus the modern left. Here you go. Got it in a nutshell, folks, if you want to get a screenshot for your Democrats who have a strong Christian background and they don't know what to do. It's like a friend of mine said, I think he said it was Ronald Reagan that said it, but I heard it could have been somebody way before Ronald Reagan said, I didn't leave the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party left me. Okay. So that's what you get with this meme here. So, anyway, what was I going to put up? I was going to put up. Oh, I was going to get into, I did a mini expose about this judge right here. And I'll get into it in future broadcasts. Who is that? You all know who that is? It's the same judge that put General Michael Flynn through HE double hockey sticks. And he was also involved in a case concerning this gentleman right here, Ted Stevens. And I'll get into that in a future broadcast because we've gone on to an hour and 20 minutes. But I will tell you a little bit of the story. Ted Stevens is no longer alive. He died in an airplane crash, and he went through a brutal trial. And he was wrongfully convicted and then exonerated and died in a plane crash. But anyway, we'll talk about that in future broadcasts. I appreciate everybody, my new subscribers. And if you go to Bumble, if you'll hit the follow button over there so I can get some followers over there. And if you're new here on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up so people know that you like this video. And hit the notification bell. You'll know when I go live. And I'm going to talk not only about in the future. I've got a lot of stuff I want to talk about that I talked about in past broadcasts when I was really a peanut channel and didn't have very many people watching. But much of what I talked about is going on right now. We're going to talk about this guy right here in the future, Panda Man. Okay, you guys remember Panda? Okay. We're going to be seeing him in the future, I believe, along with a lot of other people. We're going to be finding things out. And the general public's going to be finding out things, a lot of things that they never thought they would find out. Like this person here. Who is this person? We'll talk about this. They're talking about slipping in somebody new for Joe Biden, right? Because Joe's got to go, right? So I'll give you a hint, okay, right here. So anyway, I appreciate you all spending your precious time with me, and I hope you all have a great evening, and I will be coming on soon. Please hit the subscribe button, the like button, and the notification bell so you know when I go live. And I will be getting back with you all soon. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. You all have a great evening. Oh, I want to play one thing I promised Red I would play for him. Is his channel, if you want to watch stuff that has to do with America, that's funny, and you can help produce the channel and think of things that he can go and do to explore America. Check his channel out. Let me play this little clip he had done.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all the people in the world that have to watch Hello America and laugh at that stupid redheaded stuff. I'm sorry.
So I changed it to Explore America. And like I said, you can give him suggestions. I gave him a couple of suggestions. And I got other videos. I'll play it toward the end of my videos for Red. So Explore America. Check it out. What the heck. So you all have a great evening. I'll be talking to you soon. This is Mountain Man. Over and out.